What's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to be bringing you a very important channel update. Well, maybe it's not that important. It's just a regular old update, okay? Let's just call it that. So essentially, this channel's primary purpose has been to sort of give you a glimpse into the compositional angle of a lot of this music, right? So I want to try and expand that idea out as much as possible. You know, I've just been doing two bands this entire time, Dream Theater, Metallica, Dream Theater, and that's all it's been. So I'm going to be expanding that, and I'll elaborate on that a little bit later in the video. Not too late. I'm not going to make this very long. But I guess the first order of business to tend to would be the Master of Puppets series. I have just completely finished that series. Damage Incorporated has in fact been incorporated. We are done with that. I just finished editing that like late last week, and I spliced it up into little clips. And as far as the little clips go, I've been adding little bits before it and in the middle of it to kind of like, I guess, give a little bit of context, just so it's not like just a direct rip from the tutorial. It's adding a little bit more, so it's kind of like a new video. I've been trying to do that a little bit more often, because obviously you don't want to keep giving you the same old stuff. But that brings me to my other point. You see this notebook? See this? It's a pretty big notebook. It is completely full. Look at all those notes. Just from the videos I've done in probably the last, I don't know, 6 months or so. Let me see what the first one of these is. General notes, blah blah blah. This is dating back to Lie, okay? So that's from the middle of the Awake series, okay? This is the beginning. All of this is notes on these songs. All right, so that's how much has to actually go into it before I even start talking to the camera, right? And look, here's another one. Oh, there's New Millennium right there. You see that? I just started working on that as well. That's my second order of business, by the way. Second order of business is Falling into Infinity by Dream Theater. That's going to be my next sort of main series that I'm doing. There's a lot going on, of course. It's Dream Theater. There's going to be a ton going on in those songs. And New Millennium, the first track, is no exception. I was fortunate enough to get the isolated tracks. Somebody was nice enough to reach out to me through my website. I don't know if they want to be named or not, but I'll just call them Guy. He's a great guy that emailed me through my website asking if I needed any isolated tracks. And because I couldn't find any on the internet, I couldn't find anything for Falling into Infinity. YouTube was bare. Maybe a couple clips here and there, but the full album, no way. Especially not for New Millennium. And I really, you know, I wouldn't say that I needed it, but I kind of needed it, you know, because there was stuff in there that I had no idea that was even being played. A lot of crazy stuff, a lot of wild orchestration going on as well. So I've been sort of segmenting each part out. Actually, in my notes here, I have the intro broken up into like 4 or 5 different sections where I'm going to have to go over each one individually, you know, so I really have to compartmentalize this stuff. And yeah, not to mention there's a lot of difficult passages. The passage toward the middle with all those notes, that stuff is pretty hard to play. So I have to, you know, practice that as well as wrap my head around what's going on with the arrangement and the composition. Because I think all these songs deserve that. You know what I mean? Because there's something about this music that goes beyond just the notes being played. I mean, nobody wants to listen to a math project when they turn a CD, or, well, nobody listens to CDs anymore, but when they turn a song on, they don't want to hear a math project. They want to hear something that's inspired. You know what I mean? The only guy who's allowed to do anything mathy and get away with it is Philip Glass. All right? He's allowed to mathematically lay out his stuff and it be impactful, right? That's just my personal opinion, but could also be an objective point of view as well. Think about it that way. Anyway, my opinions are objective. That's a crazy thing to say, isn't it? I do like saying it, though. I like saying weird stuff to the camera because it just adds a little more entertainment to the situation. So yeah, that's Falling Into Infinity. I just started that, so you know you have to wait a little while. New Millennium is a tough track, and a lot of the times the amount of time that I need is dependent upon how difficult the song is. I mean, that should be obvious, but yeah, you know, New Millennium, there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of keyboard parts going in and out, as well as a lot of additional guitar dubs, and there's actually a lot of interplay between the instruments. So, you know, with parts coming in, coming out, playing the same thing in different ways. That's something Dream Theater does a lot. So I have to take all of that into account as I'm doing this. So that brings me to my final point that I need to address here, and that is my next series. That's going to go alongside of Falling Into Infinity. It's a little different, but it still follows the same vein of, you know, inspired compositions. So the next series that I'm going to be doing is Facelift by Alice in Chains. Now, Alice in Chains is one of my favorite bands of all time, okay? And still, to this day, one of my favorite bands of all time. I mean, it's hard to deny all the vocal harmonies and just the creativity behind everything. And not to mention the riffs, all right? Those riffs are dynamite, all right? So, of course, I'm going to be focusing a lot on the guitar parts, but there's a lot to dig into when it comes to the songwriting, the forms, the harmony, the way the chords are put together. They don't just write normal songs, okay? So that's kind of the theme of this channel too, is I don't just go after like normal songs. You know, all the songs on here have something else going on, whether it's something else up here, some kind of esoteric concept that needs to be covered, or it's, you know, musically complex. There's something going on. It's very inspired. Just the fact that there is something else going on than meets the eye necessarily. Alright, so that's going to wrap it up for this channel update. I hope you're enjoying all the videos, and I want to hear from you. Okay, so definitely feel free. Comment on the videos. Reach out to me through my website if there's anything you want to tell me. You know, I get back within, you know, a reasonable time. You know, if it's, as long as it's not a waste of my time. Don't waste my time, okay? Nobody wants their time wasted. Hopefully I'm not wasting your time with this, alright? That's going to conclude this channel update.